people had been asking me for years to teach them how I was modeling. And I had this idea to just start teaching people. I was scared because I knew that there were people on my timeline on Facebook that had done way more than me. What are they gonna think of me? It changed my life. $70 changed my entire world because I realized that something I'd been thinking about that was just in my head could actually manifest and be something. I sat on my living room floor that night and created something that became a 7-figure company in 18 months. What if I was scared to do it? It blows my mind what I've been able to accomplish just from a second of believing in myself. You don't have to have it all together all the time, but if you can just have 5 to 10 seconds of absolutely crazy faith, there's no telling what you can do. Your business is not going to grow past who you are as a person. That's what I'm learning. Like every issue that I have shows up in my business.
How did you even get started?
Oh, I love this question. So
welcome to another episode of Access Granted, where I give you exclusive access to entrepreneurs that are killing it in their industry. Today, I'm super excited because I get to learn and host the podcast. K'la, what's up? Welcome to Access Granted. How are you?
Thank you for having me. This is a long time in the making.
Yes.
I think we were scheduled like 3 times.
You're
right?
so busy changing the world. I am so excited, but I want you to share a little bit about what you do and who you are.
Yeah, for sure. So I call myself the model maker, and I help parents get their kids started in the entertainment business. So parents that want their kids to do acting or modeling or print work, they come to me to learn how, and we help to launch their career.
That's amazing. So as a parent, I have a daughter. She's 14 years old. And, you know, I've always had the thought of like letting her get into acting, but I've always been kind of scared.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to put your baby out there. And she's 14 years old. She has a social media page, and it was so challenging for me to let her do it. When do you know as a parent that it's okay to kind of like let them be in that space? And how do I even get started?
Yeah, so we start as young as 2 weeks, which some people are like, what? But we've literally had a 2-week-old baby book a Graco campaign for car seats. So really you can start before you even see the characteristics in them because they always need kids of all ages. But I would say like when you start to see the personality and see that they're really outgoing and not afraid to talk to people is typically around 3 or 4. But like I said, we start at the younger ages. And, you know, a lot of parents are scared. They don't know what to expect. You hear the horror stories about like these Disney child stars and all of that. But I have 4 kids. Every last one of them has been in the business since they were babies. They've shot campaigns for Oshkosh B'gosh and Nike. And I always tell people, as long as you're a parent that has that concern in the first place, typically that's an indicator that you're going to be okay because you care about your child. So, you know, I had a situation with my daughter once. She was in Black Panther. And, you know, the second day of filming, she was like, Mommy, I'm tired. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I had a moment where I was like, what you mean you don't want to do this anymore? Like, you better get it together. And then I had an epiphany of that's how situations in entertainment happen where you just are so focused on the job and you're so focused on your child being a star that you push them to do something they don't want to do. So I had to have a moment where I was like, okay, if you don't want to do this, we can go home. And she pushed through it. But I think just being a concerned parent to begin with helps you to you know, take away some of those fears about what it could be like. As long as they're
big.
Safe. Yeah.
So these are paid.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
So how much are we talking as far as like pay? What are the kids?
So I would say on the low end, like for my family now, the lowest job that I would book is probably $1,500. So that's on the low end. And then some of them go up. We've had clients that booked, you know, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 jobs.
Wow.
I have a client, I talk about him in every podcast, but his name is Elijah and he lives in New York City. I actually went to go meet them because he was doing so well, but he's made probably $50,000 by now.
Wow.
I have a 3-year-old Skylar in Chicago. She's done $17,000. She's 3 years old. So there's a lot of different jobs out there and they pay really well for the usage. So it's not necessarily that you're getting paid so much for doing the job. It's about how long they're going to use it. So, you know, they'll do a buyout for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So you can really make substantial amounts of money, especially as a kid, to put up for college or, you know, whatever the case may be.
So that's always a question that I have, right? When I worked at the bank, we had a client and her kids, they dance. Mm-hmm. And they got paid to go out and they dance at like, I think one of the gigs they had was like the Nickelodeon Awards. Mm-hmm. And the kids got paid, I want to say like $10,000 each because it was like a weekend, like a week loan thing.
Right.
And then they had a couple of movie gigs as well. But they had to come inside and she had to set up a particular account for them.
Yeah.
And I always wondered, like, what's next after, you know, you have a 14-year-old or 15-year-old getting $50,000
Yeah.
in like a year time frame. How do parents protect that? Or what are some things that parents are doing with the money or funding to make sure that it goes to the kids and that they're using it for their future as well?
Yeah, I mean, it widely varies. I'll be honest, when I first got started and my kids got started, I was dead broke at the time. Like, so when they did a job for, you know, whatever they booked, like that was going to feed and clothe them, you know? Like I wasn't pretending that I was putting it for college. Like some people are like, oh, it's going into college account. I was like, no, I'm going to feed my kids. But you know, as we grew and, you know, didn't need to do that anymore, it goes into an account and that's something that they can, you know, use a percentage of and then it's just put up. And then in other states, there's actually laws where you're not allowed to touch it. There's only a certain percentage that they can touch. It's called a Coogan account that you have to open. And in the South here, they don't have that as much, but like some of my clients in New York and California, they have to open a specific type of account so that everything is protected and you don't have parents that are, you know, dipping in the kids' money and things like that. But there's laws surrounding all of it and you just kind of go by what your state says.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. And I think that is the account. And I was in Alabama at the time and we had no idea what the account was. We had to call a bank in California and they had to walk me through how to set it up because they were so familiar with it. It was like, oh, you don't know how to set that up? This is what you do. So it was a Coogan account. Now that I think about it, wow, that's amazing. Just brought back so many memories of me working at the bank. I had a little cousin, or their cousins, they're twins. And they were in What to Expect When Expecting.
Oh, yeah.
And they did that movie and they never did anything else.
Wow.
It's like they never wanted to do anything else with it. So what are some things that you're doing for your clients to keep them going and to make sure that they're continuing the journey and not just doing like one gig and being done with it?
So what we do, I'm not an agent myself. We help you get placed with an agency. So my job really is to educate them on how to communicate with their agent so that they don't drop you for being annoying. Like that's a real thing. You know, how to keep your materials up to date. So you have to have an up-to-date headshot at all times for them to send out, and just how to manage the relationship with their agent. But we just get them placed with the agency, and the agency is the one long-term that's going to help them to book all the jobs. So just, you know, staying up to date, making sure that you're communicating with your agent, and making sure that your child is always ready. And that means like on-camera classes and different things that will help to train them.
That's good. So if I'm watching this right now and I'm thinking about, you know, I want my kid to be a star. I want my, you know, we all want our babies to be stars. And, you know, what are some things, what are the top 3 things that I can do today to even get started?
Yeah, I love this question because I like tangible things that I can tell people to do. So one thing you want to do is make sure that you have some really great photos. So if your child is under the age of 5, then they don't necessarily have to have professional headshots right away. I think that's one thing that gets parents a lot because they'll be getting headshots as a baby. It's like the baby's not even big enough to have a headshot. So you want to make sure that you have like some good digitals for babies that are under the age of 5. And those are just looking directly at the camera, smiling if you can get them to smile. And that's all it really takes to get them signed to an agency at first. That's all the kind of pictures that you need. And then for those that are over 5, you want to make sure that you go to a headshot photographer that specializes in actors. You cannot get Cousin Pookie to take these pictures that shoots the weddings and the barbecue and the family reunion. Like it has to be someone that only takes actor headshots. And then in order to submit yourself to an agency, you just want to go online and look up the agencies that are in your area. There's a resource that I sell. I'm going to tell your people. I mean, I sell it as a part of my course, but there's a website called sagaftra.org. SAGAFTRA.org, and it will give you all of the legitimate agencies that are in your area.
Wow.
So if you go on that website, 99.9% chance that those agencies are legitimate. They get fined very large fines if they are charging you any upfront fees, if they're, you know, doing any kind of sketchy behavior. So that's a website that you can go to, and then you'll just go on their website and give them exactly what they asked for. And we'll say, hey, if you want to be a part of our agency, send us your name, age, height, weight photos. And you send them only your name, age, height, weight photos. You know, they want to make sure that you can pay attention to directions, that you're doing exactly what they asked for, because if you can't submit properly, then they're not going to take you on their team thinking that you're going to be able to book jobs with them if you can't pay attention to directions. And that's a big one. A lot of people don't get signed simply because they're not submitting the right way. And It's super simple to just read the instructions and follow them. I always give this example. Have you ever been on Facebook and someone says, I'm having a barbecue on Friday at 3 o'clock and we're selling wings? What are the people in the comments saying?
When,
Mm-hmm.
where,
Mm-hmm. Will you have donuts?
Uh-huh.
Is it at 12 o'clock? What day? And you're like, it literally says it right here. Well, if you think about how you see that online, 90% of people are that way. So when you're submitting to these jobs and you're submitting to these agencies, this is a made up statistic, but I tell people you're only really up against 50% of the people that are applying, because 50% of them are not going to apply the right way and their emails are going to be deleted. And then here you are, in all your glory, giving them what they asked for. And that's how my children in the beginning were booking a whole lot, because I made sure that I gave them everything they asked for and nothing more.
Wow. Something so simple.
Yep.
I tell people that the same thing, that it's literally the same when it comes to grants.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people that are not applying for grants because they feel like, oh, there's so many other people applying. And I use this example all the time. Mackenzie Scott, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, she had a grant that was probably over, I want to say over $4 million. Wow. And less than 4,000 people applied for the grant. So even if she gave a little bit to everybody that applied, mm-hmm. everybody would have got a nice sum of money. Everybody didn't get it, right. part of it. But even if she did. So I tell people that it's the same thing when it comes to grants. People are afraid or intimidated about applying for grants. And it's like, no, you're not really. The competition is right. not what you think it is, because people don't follow directions, or either they actually don't apply. Mm-hmm. Question for you, when looking for an agency, because we know there's so many people out there scouting and so many different agencies out there, what am I looking for in an agency that protects me, that, that can help me land the jobs? Mm-hmm. What should I really be focusing on?
Yeah, so there are definitely a lot of sketchy companies out there that call themselves agencies. The things that I will tell you what to look for, but also mainly what to stay away from, will land you into a good agency. So you want to stay away from anyone that's trying to charge upfront fees. Mm. And that's for anything. That's for a sign-up fee. That's for a website fee. That's photography. A lot of times parents will see that there's, a photography fee, and they're like, hey, we want to sign you, but this is the package you need. And it sounds like it would make sense because you're modeling, you need photos. But the agency is not the one that's supposed to be setting that up, booking it. If they have time to do that, then they're not getting any real jobs, and they're not helping you book anything, because how do you have time to set up photo shoots? So that's one thing that you want to stay away from. They will sign you, sell you a huge photo package, and then you'll just sit on the roster if there even is one. You want to stay away from anyone that is trying to sell you on classes and workshops. If it's an agency, people come to me and they're like, Kayla, you say we shouldn't pay, but we pay you. And I'm like, I'm not an agent. I'm the plug. I hope you get signed to an agency, right? But if it's an agency, then they shouldn't be trying to sell you on a bunch of classes, because again, that's all that they're doing. Mm-hmm. And what to look for when you go on their websites, look for them talking about any type of classes, because that's something you want to stay away from. Look at their roster and see how many children in your child's category there are, because if there's like 10 kids with big curly hair, then you're probably not going to stand out in that part of the roster, right? And those kids are ones that they already had, so they're going to get preference. You want to look at what jobs they've helped people book. Look on their Facebook page, see, are they active on their socials, see, how many gigs they're even getting in, because there's some agencies that will sign you and they maybe have like 3 companies a year reach out to them for talent. Well, now you're locked into a contract that you can't get out of, and there's no work.
Wow. How did you even get started?
Oh, I love this question. So I always wanted to be an actress and model. Like I joke and say I was probably posing for my ultrasound pictures when my mom was pregnant. Like it was just always a dream of mine. And I was really kind of afraid to talk about it because, it just seemed like a lofty dream. And then when I finally did start to talk about, I think I want to be an actress, my mom just didn't know where to start. She didn't know what to do. She's like, oh, I don't know how to do that. So when I got out on my own after I turned 18, I started, looking for auditions here and there, and I ran into scam after scam. I mean, like anyone that could take my money, I gave it to. And I barely had any to give. But hotel auditions were primarily where I got scammed. They would do this, give you a script and you would read it and they would tell you, oh my gosh, you're so good. We love you. It's only going to be $300. Exactly. And I ran into that so many times until I figured out, okay, I'm not ever going to another hotel audition. As a matter of fact, to this day, I've been on tour. I won't even host my tours at hotels because I don't want to be associated. And my team is like, Kayla, this one's really cheap. Like it's a good, it's a good place. We could do it here. I'm like, no, it's a hotel. I can't do that. But yeah, I ran into scam after scam, and then I kind of by trial and error figured out, okay, this is how you do it. This is what you stay away from. This is legit. And then, I started having kids and I got my kids into it. And then my daughter, when she was 6 years old, she had the opportunity to be a part of Black Panther. And it was a huge movie. And in Birmingham, everyone was so interested in how I got her in it. And she was only an extra, right? She was a featured extra, so you could really see her, but she didn't have any lines. So I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed that they were so excited and they were asking me, oh my gosh, how do you do it? And all this attention, like the news called. She met the mayor. He presented her with a letter.
Wow.
She was on every news station, like newspaper. And I was like, y'all, this is not that deep. Like if this was over in Atlanta, like they would not care. I really did not want my Atlanta friends to see all the attention I was getting in Birmingham, if I'm being so honest, because y'all would not have cared. Like it happens every day here. But I thought to myself, why are they so interested? Like, why is this so serious? And it's a lack of knowledge. They just didn't know how to do it. And at the time, I didn't have two penny strips together. They were calling us to the news station to do interviews, and I didn't have gas to get there.
Wow.
Literally had no gas money to get there. I was living in a 900 square foot house. My husband at the time was working a, $10 an hour job, night shift. And I'm like, we have all this attention. Everyone's calling. They think we made all this money from this movie. And what can I do with it? Like, how do I capitalize off of this? And people had been asking me for years to teach them how I was modeling. Because, I did a couple magazines here and there, did some stuff. And they would say, how do you do that? And I had this idea to just start teaching people. I'm like, what's the worst that can happen? But I was scared because I knew that there were people on my timeline on Facebook that had done way more than me, right? There's people that had like done speaking roles and had done this. And like, what are they going to think of me if I start teaching them how to get to where I am, which is not so far. But I didn't allow that fear to stop me that day. And a lot of times we do. We allow fear to stop us, what other people are going to think when their thoughts have never paid a bill, ever. So what I ended up doing was, I was a little bit of a punk. I blocked them from seeing the posts. The ones that I knew were doing well, I was like, well, I don't want them to see it. So I just blocked them. I blocked them. But at least I still posted it. There's this video by Steve Harvey. And I talk about it everywhere I go because it really was the catalyst for me starting this. It was called Jump. I don't know if you've ever seen it. He's talking to his audience about jumping and just getting out there and doing the thing and not being afraid, because what's the worst that can happen? And I was like, I'm just going to do it. So I made a post that night. And it was like, I can teach you how to, get your child in modeling and acting for $35 was my price back then. And I thought that was a lot. I was like, I'm charging these people $35. I don't know if they can afford it. And I posted a little picture of Bella in Black Panther. And 2 people signed up that night.
Wow.
And it literally changed my life. It changed my life. $70 changed my entire world, because I realized that something I've been thinking about that was just in my head could actually manifest and be something. Mm-hmm. And then the dollar amount actually changed my life too, because like I said, I was dead broke. Like that was groceries for me. You know what I mean? So from that moment when those 2 people signed up and I knew that it could be something, it was up from there. I started doing consultations at the local library for the $35. And that same package I now charge $3,000 for.
Wow.
But it was all about, taking that leap of faith and jumping out there and doing it.
What advice do you have? Because there's somebody watching this right now and they're afraid to jump.
Who?
They're afraid to take that leap of faith. What advice do you have for them?
First of all, DM me, because I call myself a cliff pusher and I will literally push you off the cliff. I'll just force you to do it. But my advice is that you never, ever know what you can create if you don't try. Like I wouldn't be sitting across the table from you. Mm-hmm. My entire life changed. When I tell you I was broke, I was supernaturally broke. Like we had 9 cars repossessed. We had been evicted 4 times. My kids ate oatmeal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Wow.
I used to walk around the house and try to find something to return to Walmart so I could go get a pack of noodles. Like I'd find some bleach that was half empty and pour water in it, return bleach for $2 and go get 2 packs of ramen noodles. Like supernaturally broke. I sat on my living room floor that night and created something that became a 7-figure company in 18 months.
Wow.
What if I was scared to do it? What if you're scared to do it? You never know what can happen. Like it's not going to hurt you. People might talk about you. It doesn't physically hurt. You'll be okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You have an amazing story. And every time I talk to you, like every time we connect, every room we're in, you always share something that just gives me chills. It does every single time. And your story is just so powerful. How are you, your kids, how are you balancing it all? Because you're traveling so much and you have kids that are teenagers and growing, and you just got off a plane this morning and
Literally.
probably have to go home in just a moment. How are you balancing it all?
I am not. I'm doing the best I can. As a matter of fact, I just got a text. The person that's supposed to pick my kids up from school, she can't do it. So I don't know how they're getting home today. And it's just always, it's an adventure. Like every single day is different. Every day is an adventure. I learned that there's no such thing as balance. It's like a constant fight amongst entrepreneurs about whether or not there's such a thing as balance. Like you hear it at every conference. Somebody's like, oh, there is balance. There's not. I don't believe there's balance. I believe that you prioritize what needs to be prioritized in a moment. So sometimes that's the kids, sometimes that's the relationship, sometimes the business needs your help.
Wow.
But you prioritize and you do the best you can, and you allow grace and mercy to follow you, because I don't know. I don't have it all together.
Well, you do it very well.
Yeah.
You do it very well. And I always love how you just bring so much light and energy in every room that you're in. I just appreciate you so much. Working with K'la, what is it that you are helping us with when we sign up for your program?
So we have two different options. We have a course that's a do-it-yourself. So you just watch it. There's modules. I wanted to make sure it was really fun to watch, because I'm a nut and I want people to laugh and I want them to have fun. I want them to keep watching. So the videos are me on camera talking, and you can watch it and really implement everything and do it yourself. And then the VIP program is what's most popular, because we do all the work for you. So it doesn't matter where you live. You come into the program. If your child is over 5, we'll go ahead and set up a photo shoot for them in your city. And then we pick out your photos that were best from the shoot, and we send them out to the agencies ourselves. So the agencies that we know would like you or are legitimate in your area, we'll go ahead and shop you around to those agencies.
Wow.
It comes with the course. It comes with onboarding call, so you'll understand the process and what to expect. And then you'll also get us to set up your casting profiles, which is where the jobs are. So we've had kids book for Nike, Target, Nickelodeon, Disney. We just had kids on set with Morgan Freeman for a movie. Like the list goes on and on. We have somebody book something every day. Samsung just paid one of my clients $7,500, and she's 4. So all those jobs are on one website, and we help you set it up and begin to submit. So really everything that's needed, we package it together.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But I know we talk a lot about helping the kids. You don't just help kids, right?
No, I don't. So I help adults as well. I talk about kids a lot because it's the primary client, but I actually like helping adults almost more. Only because so many times we think it's too late for us. One of my favorite scriptures says that God is a redeemer of time. And when you feel like you're running out of time or that you've missed your moment, a lot of these parents, they had the dream first. It wasn't about their kids. It was like, oh, now I'm in position and I can help my child do this. But they secretly still have that dream. And anytime I post like how many moms out there want to model, I get flooded with messages. So I do help adults. We do the same process. We set you up with the photo shoot. We'll send the photos out, and we get you connected to an agency. I just had a client get signed. Her name is Jafora, and I hope she sees this. She's so sweet. It took us 2 times, so we had to run her through the program twice. The first time she didn't get picked up by anybody, but she's so happy. Like, she's absolutely gorgeous. She's 57 years old, and she just got signed to her first modeling contract at 57.
At 57.
Head full of gray hair. Absolutely gorgeous. Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So never too late.
No, never too late. Think about this. You see those commercials where they're like, I've slipped, I've fallen, I can't get up. She didn't slip or fall, and she can get up. She's an actress, right? She laid on the floor for that check. So anybody can do this. Consumer cellular commercials where they're like going through the phone, and there's a lot of commercials that you can do as an older person. Yeah.
Oh, that's so exciting. We have somebody inside of our community. She's 75, and she just got approved for her first grant. So I'm like, you guys, it's not a limit on age. You just got to want it.
There's only mental limits. That's it.
It's literally just the desire of knowing that you want it and doing the work to go get it.
Yep.
That's what it is. So what's next for K'la? What can we expect next from you and all the amazing things you're doing?
I wake up and I just have ideas and I implement them. So you never really know. The last tour that I did, I think I planned it maybe 5 weeks in advance.
Really?
I was like, I'm going to go to Chicago and Dallas, and I'm just going to do, I don't know. I have ADHD real bad. So I do things last minute and they always work out. So there's no telling what's coming. I do know I'm doing a model search.
Okay.
I do that every year. So
Okay.
at the top of the year, the model search will be coming out and people can submit. They post a picture of their child and then they tag me and let me know why they want to win.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So model search is just literally posting a picture, tagging you, telling why their kid
Yep.
deserves to model.
Yep.
Okay. I'm excited about that. I've been trying to make my baby do it. I've talked to you before. I'm like, I want her to model, but she's in the teenage phase of when mama says do something, she just doesn't want to do it. But if
Right.
it's her idea, it's like the best idea in the world.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to set up like a little ambush where we just run into each other at Target. And I'm going to be, oh my gosh, you are so beautiful. Has she ever thought about modeling? And then we'll sign her up.
Let's do it.
That's what we're gonna do.
That's what we're going to have to do. And so it won't be my ideas. But wait, she watches the podcast. So we got to do it before the podcast.
Absolutely.
drops.
Yeah.
This has been amazing, K'la. So if I'm watching this right now, I want you to just give some advice to the entrepreneur because you took a leap of faith. You started a business and now you're a 7-figure empire. I want you to give some advice to the entrepreneur who maybe they are sitting in their living room floor. Maybe they're, broke and they're trying to figure it out. Maybe they just had their car repossessed or maybe they're facing eviction. What advice do you have to the person who feels like giving up and they just need to keep pushing and keep going?
My advice is that it's going to be ghetto. There's going to be days where you want to get on Indeed and get a job.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be days where you're like, what am I doing this for? And you have to have a why. You have to have a reason why you're doing what you're doing. I definitely believe in having a passion for the business that you're in. At least for your first one, you can go build some that not just make money. But if you go back to the why you're doing it, whether it's your kids, whether it's, to change your situation, I think having that at the forefront of your mind is going to help you to keep going. And don't worry about what people are saying. Like, people have always been talking. They talked about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
If I wouldn't have blocked those people for that first post and jumped out there, I wouldn't be where I am today. And when I just think about the people I've been able to work with, all from that one decision, like Tasha Cobbs being a client, what?
I was just going to
I absolutely love her. I have loved her since when I was a teenager, broke. And now she's a client. I got her child signed. Or, all the different people that I've been able to work with. I know that it wouldn't have happened had Keisha Cole. I just, I was backstage with her at the concert and I'm going to get her son signed. It blows my mind what I've been able to accomplish just from a second of believing in myself. You don't have to have it all together all the time. But if you can just have 5 to 10 seconds of absolutely crazy faith, there's no telling what you can do.
Oh, that's big. That's big. I think a lot of times online, especially in podcast interviews and online, we share a lot of our success. Right. Mm-hmm. So I built a 7-figure business and, I've got access to this amount of grant funding. What are some challenges that you face?
Girl, listen, that's what we
just
need
one
to
or
talk
two.
about.
I know there's a lot. What's one or two?
Hiring the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
I have a huge heart and I want to give everybody a chance. And, I give them 2 and 3 chances. Hiring the wrong people, being too fast to hire and too slow to fire if it needs to be done. And then just not communicating effectively. I think sometimes I like to bury my head in the sand when things go on. I really am not confrontational. So if something's going on in the business with an employee, it's really, it was difficult for me to talk about it. And then things just get worse. Mm-hmm. And you can't lead an organization being afraid to talk to the people that work for you.
Yeah.
So definitely made some mistakes there. And then just wasting money. You come from absolutely nothing and then you have everything and you don't know what to do with it. So I just got rid of it, but I had a $100,000 car that I didn't need. Just because I could. And I learned that just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. That's probably the biggest lesson that I've learned.
That's powerful.
Yeah. Just because you can, just because you got approved. Because before I couldn't get approved for it anyway, right? If I went in there and said, hey, let me get that $100K car, they'd be like, how about we get you to your car and you leave? So now that I'm getting yeses, I'm like, oh, it must be a yes. I had a studio in Birmingham that I just got rid of. And I was too slow to get rid of it. because I wasn't really using it. I was paying $6,000 a month for a studio space because, you know, my story was so inspirational and everybody, you know, came to the grand opening and it was so exciting. But then when I realized I wasn't using it, I was wasting money. What are they going to think if I shut it down? They're going to think I don't have any money. They're going to think I'm broke. They're going to think I'm failing. So I held on to it for absolutely no reason. And when I shut it down, not one person has asked, maybe one has asked me about that studio. Maybe one, like, do you still have your studio? Nope. And then that was it.
Yeah.
And I wasted $123,000 on a studio space I wasn't using.
Wow.
So it all comes back to caring about what people think.
Mm-hmm. But just believing in you.
Yeah.
Not caring what anyone else has to say, just believing in you. I had a conversation with my mentor probably a couple of months ago, and he said, don't be quick to go out there and just try to like buy what you feel like you know, should reflect your lifestyle. And I'm a very private person. So he was like, the cars, the houses, the clothes. I've done it all. Don't be quick to go out there and try to buy it and invest in it. You'll regret it later. So I love that you touched on that, because it just brought me back to that conversation of people think, you know, oh, you're supposed to have and you're supposed to do. And I'm just so relaxed and chill when it comes to that. I'm like, yeah, I don't need any of that.
Did you ever have the moment where you went out and got the things?
So I used to. So I talk about it a little bit. I have a book that I just dropped, Fired into Freedom, and I talk about it a little bit inside the book. I used to date somebody, and we had a very luxurious lifestyle. So the Ferraris, the G-Wagons, the houses in Miami, we had all of that, right? And so there was a situation where that was pretty much stripped from us. And so I went through a phase but I never really... I would go and live the life in Miami, and then I would go back to Alabama and be in my little bubble, because that's what it was always comfortable for me. So when it was ripped from us, it wasn't like a shocker reality, because I was still in my space. But I promised myself that when I had the chance of being able to live the luxury again, I wouldn't flaunt it, or it would just come naturally. So I think I'm in a space where now it's just natural. You know, if it happens, it happens. I don't have to have the G-Wagon. I don't have to have the Ferrari. I don't have to have the homes in multiple states. It just kind of flows. I think that's where I'm at right now. Yeah.
That's good. It's a process everyone goes through. Like, with my car, I had a lime green, like you were going to see me. And my thought was, I'm going to prove myself to everyone who doubted me and everybody thought I couldn't do it. I literally had a car that was lime green. And it was very loud. It was very expensive. And it reflected my own insecurities. And this is a very fresh realization. Like, this is 6 months ago I got rid of that car.
Wow.
But I had to realize that the brokenness that I carried and the way I didn't value who I was, me becoming popular and being the model maker, like, it allowed me to hide all that. It allowed me to hide behind that mask of like, oh, now I'm this person, so I don't have to worry about the trauma that I really deal with, and all the things became a cover up. And as I slowly start to get rid of them, I'm learning me. Like, I chopped all my hair off. I don't know why. Why do we chop our hair off when we're going through? We have a metamorphosis. I'm like, first order of business, chop my hair off. But I'm so much more comfortable with me now.
That's good.
I'm learning who I am, and I'm learning what really matters. And there's nothing like being truly healed. And the stuff will come. It'll come back.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
if you're not whole, like, what is it? None of that stuff is worth anything. I was depressed in a $100,000 car. Like, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy at all. So I'm just grateful. Business, your business is not going to grow past who you are as a person. That's what I'm learning. Like, every issue that I have shows up in my business. If I'm disorganized, my business is disorganized. You know?
That's so true. That is so true. This has been an amazing episode. I'm so happy we finally got you on. Any last piece of advice that you want to give to the audience or somebody that's watching?
My advice to you is to follow me as I follow Christ. K'laModelmaker.com.
That's amazing. Listen, you guys, I know you have found so much value in this episode of Access Granted. So I want to make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and of course, share this with 3 people that you know or that you love and who could find value in the information we just shared. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in to Access Granted.